Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me, Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hi, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 220, Tremors. My name is Joe.
My name is Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Hello, Joe.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, tentative.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. Like, I feel tentative okay as well.
All right.
Like, that's about as high as it gets now.
I think so. C. Solid C.
Solid C. Not quite C+.
Nope.
But solid C.
So I guess this is a good place as any for a fair warning to the listener. You may hear obnoxious cat in the background.
Aw. Cat just wants attention.
Yes, he does. Constantly. And yet, when provided with attention, still not satisfied. So, not sure what the cat wants.
I don't know. I understand that.
Just from a personal experience?
Just from personal experience, yeah.
Like you constantly wanting attention, but...
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenny hates it.
I can imagine. But at least you use words.
Is that better?
I mean, somewhat.
Than cute meowing? I'll try meowing later. I'll let you know how that goes.
Yes, please. Keep me informed.
So yeah. Cat noises.
Yeah. I'm kind of fostering a cat for a little while here, and we're having some trouble getting used to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the cat has been through some things lately, so
he has, sure.
Cut him some slack.
I'm doing my best. I truly am.
You're a good man for taking him in.
Yeah, I mean, I've had cats before, and none of them have ever acted like this, though. So I don't know.
It's, I think it's probably safe to say it's not you, it's the cat.
Well, let's hope. Oh, boy.
Tremors.
So, there was an issue with this movie.
There was a minor issue.
Yeah, I mean, easily solved, but unexpected.
Yeah, I think it'll be more an issue for the listener who is watching movies along with us.
It's true, because this will be available in like a month from now. So, actually, I've done the math,
okay.
And the day that this episode will come out, available as a download, is my birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday today, Eric.
Thank you, Joe.
I didn't get you anything because I'm an asshole.
That's fine. Well, back in the past, you still have a month.
What? I don't understand how time travel works. But see, now if I do get you something, will I have changed the future by doing something in the past?
Yes. Yep, that's it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, I'm really glad we got this solved.
So I picked this movie. It was on Netflix, and I watched it Tuesday evening, which was June 30th for the listener, and then I decided, when I got home, like, I could just turn it on again just to kind of freshen myself on some of the points of the movie, and just have it on in the background. And it was no longer on Netflix. apparently I caught it on the very last day.
You lucky bastard.
And so I sent you a text asking you if you had watched it yet. And you had not.
I had not.
And it was no longer available.
It's okay. I forked over the $4 to watch it on Amazon.
Well, I'm glad.
I will say, $4 well spent.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry that it was not a little cheaper, but
that's all right.
I'm glad that you felt it was worth it.
I feel like for some reason when I rent movies through Prime, like $2 to $4 I can live with. If it's like $6, for some reason that's just too much. Even though I know we've talked about how I rented The Invisible Man for $20 back at the beginning of all of the pandemic nonsense.
Yes.
And that was apparently acceptable to me, but a $6 rental of any other movie.
No, I'm with you. And the way you justified The Invisible Man made perfect sense to me. Because it was a new release, essentially, and you would have gone to the theater to see it with Jenny, and probably would have spent way more than $20.
Definitely.
So I can see the justification for that. But for any movie older than 6 months, yes, between $1 and $4 is all I'm really willing to pay for a rental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's something that I could conceivably go to the library and get,
sure,
then yeah, I wouldn't want to spend more than that for sure.
I guess I should have checked to see if Tremors was on Hoopla or not.
I probably could have looked on that as well. I didn't even think of it.
That's the thing. Sometimes it just doesn't occur to me to look. But yeah, I should always at least double check to make sure that it might be on there, just in case.
Well, I mean, we assumed it would be on Netflix.
This is also true. I'm personally glad that I watched it Tuesday then, because I probably would have been too pissed off having to have rented it.
That's fair. Because, that's just a kick in the pants.
Yeah, it was. But hey, at least the sixth sequel is still available on Netflix for anybody to watch. So,
okay, I saw that all. I believe there are 5 sequels, and then multiple TV series.
No, there's only one television program.
Oh, for some reason I thought there were 2.
They tried to come out with a second one, but they canceled it right after the pilot was filmed.
Oh, okay.
Which also was never aired. But yes, there are 5 sequels, a prequel, and a television series that lasted 13 episodes to this movie.
I didn't know there was a prequel.
Oh yeah, Tremors 4 is the prequel.
Oh, okay.
Weird that they threw that right there in the middle. And the 7th one is coming out in October.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And Michael Gross, a.k.a. Stephen Keaton from Family Ties, has starred in all of them.
You know what? Good for him.
I'm perfectly thrilled for him that he has found this thing.
Did I see that? Does Jamie Kennedy play his son?
Yeah. Yes, he does.
So, good for him too.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind, neither of us, I'm guessing, have seen any of the other movies.
No, absolutely not. I'd never seen this one.
I had never seen this one either. And yeah, here we are, fully knowledgeable on the on the entire lore of Tremors.
I wouldn't say I'm knowledgeable of the lore. I would say I looked at the IMDb page for the original movie, saw that there were numerous sequels, and was able to pick up, based on his presence on the movie poster, that Jamie Kennedy is in several of them.
Well, you're also fairly smart.
Sometimes. Not smart enough to look on Hoopla to see if the movie's available for free.
Well, fair. I knew that there were a ton of sequels, and I knew that Michael Gross was in all of them, if not most of them. But yeah, I was unaware that Jamie Kennedy was in it until I did some investigating, and also unaware that that a new one was coming out until I read the Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's definitely news to me.
Yeah. And what was the... Oh, yeah, and the canceled television pilot that they did in 2018, I believe, was going to feature Kevin Bacon reprising his role.
Right, yeah. I saw his name and... what's his name? The guy that played Earl.
Fred Ward.
Yes, yeah, I saw his name on there as well.
Yeah. I believe Fred Ward appeared in the first sequel, Tremors 2, Aftershocks.
Yeah.
But he has not appeared in any of the others, and Kevin Bacon only appeared in the first one.
Good for him.
Yeah, sure.
He didn't need it at that point.
No, not at all.
I don't know that he really needed Tremors at that point. He had Footloose already.
Yeah, he was a star. He's had an interesting career.
Yeah.
And just based on watching this movie, if I had never seen any other Kevin Bacon movie, I would say he's not a great actor.
I guess I haven't seen a ton of Kevin Bacon movies. But he's never, the ones that I have seen, he's never really struck me as a great actor.
No, so. I mean, not great, but, competent.
Yeah, competent is definitely a word I would use.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed quite a few Kevin Bacon movies. Such as... Stir of Echoes.
You'd think for a guy who can be connected to anyone else within 6 degrees, it'd be easier to name Kevin Bacon movies. I was going to say Wild Things.
I've never seen that.
It's terrible. It's real bad.
Didn't look great.
He was in
Apollo 13?
That's right, he was in Apollo 13. He was in A Few Good Men as well.
Yes, yeah.
No, I was thinking he's in some movie where he plays like the Invisible Man, basically, isn't he? With Elizabeth Shue?
Yes, the Hollow Man.
Hollow Man, that's right.
Which it's not good. It is a terrible, terrible movie that I have seen like 3 times.
There's a movie called Thinner?
Yes.
Is it the same premise, basically?
No.
No, okay.
Hollow Man is basically the Invisible Man. Mad scientist injects himself with a serum that turns him invisible.
Okay.
Thinner is about a portly gentleman who accidentally kills a gypsy and has a curse placed on him in which he just continuously wastes away to nothing.
Yikes.
Based on a Stephen King novel.
That
writing under the name of Richard Bachman.
I would assume so. That all sounds racially insensitive to the Romani people.
I'm sure it probably has some issues. I've never seen it. It does have Robert John Burke in it, who I enjoy.
I don't know who that is.
He replaced Peter Weller as RoboCop.
Is he in the Frank Miller RoboCop movies?
No, he is. Well, I mean, the third one, yeah, is a Frank Miller one. But yeah, that's the only one he was in.
Okay.
He also, I believe, he was. I know he's been on every incarnation of Law and Order as like some hard-nosed internal affairs investigator.
Oh wow! Okay.
Who for a while was pretty much Christopher Maloney's nemesis.
So I'm sure I would recognize him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He also has a twin brother, so you may get him confused with the other guy too.
That's crazy. Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, Tremors.
Yeah, that movie.
You know what? It's 6 degrees of tangents on this episode of the Viewmasters.
I'm trying to think, and I don't think even at Gutter Trash we never watched a Kevin Bacon movie.
That's amazing.
I know, right? Maybe it's only other actors that are connected to him, where he just has a relatively small filmography.
It could be, or he could just be like the few movies that he is in have all of the other people in them. Like Apollo 13 has half a dozen big name actors in it.
It's true.
A Few Good Men has half a dozen big name actors in it. So yeah,
that is fair. Yeah, so this is a ton of fun.
I really liked it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this movie.
It's stupid as hell.
I wouldn't say it's good, but I really enjoyed it. I know I've seen people on the internet talk about how much they love this movie, and I can absolutely see why.
Yeah, it is just a blast. I will say it's billed as a horror comedy. Not a ton of horror, not a ton of comedy, but it is. I mean, they make attempts.
Yeah,
and there are some tense moments in the movie for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think most of the jokes of it kind of fall flat.
Yeah, there were only a few parts where I actually laughed.
Right.
Like the gun wall in Michael Gross and Reba McEntire's gun bunker made me laugh a lot.
I also laughed at that, yes. Just the nonchalant pan over to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the more sort of over-the-top elements made me laugh versus actual jokes or anything like that.
Yeah. I tend to agree. Fuck, what was I going to say?
Was it about Reba McEntire being in this movie?
No, but we can talk about that.
I saw her name in the opening credits and then promptly forgot about it. And then when she showed up, I didn't immediately recognize her until she spoke.
Right.
And then immediately was like, oh shit, Reba McEntire's in this movie.
I think at one point in time I had known that she was in this movie, but had completely forgotten, up until she showed up on screen. And it was a bit of a shock.
It was a little bit shocking once I realized who it was.
Yeah.
But shortly after within seconds, I think, of realizing that was Reba McEntire, I realized that her husband was the dad from Family Ties. So, whose name, again, I had seen in the credits and completely forgotten about.
Right.
So just the pairing of the two was actually kind of a pleasure.
It really was. I thought they had, fairly good chemistry.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if she had ever acted prior to this or not.
I saw on the IMDb trivia that was her first acting role.
All right. Well, it paved the way for a very successful sitcom for her.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing this was like peak Reba time, wasn't it?
Yeah, like it was because it came out in 1990. So yeah, it was either early to peak Reba fame.
Yeah, I've never been a fan. She's country, like pop country. That's not my thing.
Yeah,
but I certainly was aware of her existence for sure.
Yeah, I think I mainly knew her from her sitcom.
Right.
Because, again, never listened to her music.
No, absolutely not. Well, except for, of course, the end credits song.
Right, of course. The theme from Tremors, of course. Yes. That may be the first Reba McEntire song I've ever listened to all the way through.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better one.
I feel pretty good about it. So Michael Gross is in all of the sequels. Do you know if Reba McEntire is in any of them?
She is not in any of the other Tremors movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did they recast the character?
Nope. They just, apparently, his character gets just way too paranoid, and she leaves him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad.
And
you hate to see a good marriage dissolve like that.
I know, right? But apparently, and even Jamie Kennedy's character is not of that marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no Reba McEntire spawn either.
You think that's how she refers to her kids?
Wouldn't everybody?
Reba McEntire spawn.
I mean, I just assume that's how all people refer to their kids.
We should ask Jason.
Hey, today on the day we're recording is his daughter's first birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. I feel a little bad they couldn't have like any kind of party for it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, first birthday parties are more for the parents than for the kids anyway, so.
It's true, yeah.
It's like, we survived a year of this.
Yeah,
Praise
fair.
us.
Very fair.
Maybe next March we can have a We Survived a Year of COVID-19 party.
Oh, if we survive.
If we survive.
Yep. Oh, I don't think I will.
Fuck.
Yep. It is gonna get worse.
It's already getting worse.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Just received an email today from the Ohio Board of Elections that they are mandating in-person voting.
Huh.
Yep. So things are great.
I mean, they'll still send you an absentee ballot if you request one, right?
I think so. I've already requested it, so
okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, but yeah, my job is a polling station, and I think I'm going to call off that day.
Yeah, I think that's the right choice.
Yep. I do not need to be exposed to the unwashed public. And they are very unwashed.
You're already exposed to them enough as it is.
Yep. I have had some horrible experiences in just 2 days. Check out my Twitter.
It is harrowing, folks.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Almost like being chased by a graboid.
Almost. I love that graboid is apparently the official name for those things.
Yeah. I mean, what else would you call them?
I guess sandworm is already taken.
Yeah.
But yeah, those monsters are gross.
Yeah, they are. Most monsters are.
That's true.
And most worms are. And this is just a giant monstrous worm. So
I actually kind of like worms.
Why?
I don't know.
I
find
saw
them fascinating.
I saw you post that horrific thing on Twitter earlier.
What did I post on Twitter earlier?
About the worm trying to crawl across the gap in the floor.
Oh, that was so cute. It was so cute, that little inchworm.
Just so gross.
Oh, that! How can you think that little guy's gross?
Because all worms are gross.
It's just trying to live its life. It could go around that gap, but it just wants to get across.
Well, you know what? Graboids are just trying to live their lives too.
I don't think that inchworms murder anyone.
That you know of.
That's true. That I know of. Why? You know what? I think the thing that was maybe missing from this movie was a
Baby
reason.
graboids?
Baby graboids. No, I'm sure that's in the second one. No, the thing that I feel like was missing from this was an explanation for why the graboids were active now versus literally any other time. Because, assuming that they were prehistoric,
Right.
Like why is now the time that they're active versus any other time in history?
That's a fair criticism, I think.
Like if the seismologist, whose name I don't remember right now, the love interest. But yeah, like she asks early on if anybody's been doing any blasting or anything in the area lately. And the answer was no, but I feel like, if the answer had been yes, that could be a reason for why they're awake now and lashing out at people because they've been disturbed. I don't know. It lacked the humans caused this element that a lot of good monster movies have.
Huh. Didn't even occur to me up till this point to think about that. And you're absolutely right. and yeah, now that, because while I was watching the movie, like, I kept in my head comparing it most to the 1988 remake of The Blob.
Okay.
There just seemed to be a lot of very similar elements, and just playing on the old classic horror movie, monster movie tropes. But yeah, now that you mention it, every single one of those that I can think of has some sort of human interference that causes the monsters to go amok.
Yeah.
And there was none. They just happen.
They're just dicks.
Yeah, suddenly. I mean, some animals are just dicks.
Right, it's true. Like, even it could have been just like, well, Kevin Bacon peed on their home,
right,
in the opening scene, and that's what did it.
Right. Yeah. No, it was nothing. Yeah, and sort of makes you wonder. Then even an explanation of, oh, these things have always been around, like we just cover it up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just nobody ever talks about it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it is just they're there and they just start eating people.
I wonder if that stuff is explored in any of the sequels.
I'm sure they are. You gonna watch any to find out?
I will watch every single one of them to find out. By which I mean I will read Wikipedia synopses for them.
Well, I can tell you that there definitely is a Tremors wiki out there dedicated solely to Tremors.
Perfect.
So that was somewhat useful to me as I was doing my post-movie research on this.
Excellent. I feel like if this hasn't been explored, there's a really good opportunity here for a spec script or something to explain it away.
Well, I mean, probably, but it seems like they're doing just fine continuously making Tremors movies.
That's true. I'll pitch it as a comic to Dark Horse. They don't have anything else going on right now.
They really don't. Oh man, what an end of an era.
Yeah, there's they still got Hellboy.
Yeah.
And other things.
Sure. Did they still have the Terminator? because that was their big one also in the 80s. And
I forgot all about that.
I
don't
feel like
know.
I haven't seen a Terminator comic in ages.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't know if they still have that license or not. I know they've got Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I don't know that that's really taken off the way that they expected it to.
Yeah, well, that's probably because it's based on a shit TV show.
Yeah, the shine's really worn off on that show, hasn't it?
I hated it from the get-go.
We watched the first 2 seasons. I remember very little about it.
Yeah, I watched the first season like the weekend it came out. I had never heard of it up to that point. I just was, in the middle of a crushing depression, and it was on. And I watched every single episode in one day. And was just like, wow, this is just terrible.
Why did you watch every episode?
Because, again, crushing depression.
Oh, right.
And, nothing better to do.
My mistake, of course.
And also, there's always a chance, hey, maybe by the 4th episode this thing will really take off. But instead it was just more like, hey, remember that stuff you liked?
That is basically Stranger Things.
Yep.
This is just like
show.
that one movie from the 80s.
Yep. And if it's not just like that one thing you'll remember from the 80s, here's a thing that references that thing from the 80s that you like.
Right. Yeah. Just to remind you of that thing.
Yep. I hate Stranger Things. But hey, more power to you, Dark Horse. And
right.
Crumbling empire.
Oh. Yeah, they've had a rough couple weeks.
Yeah, they have.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Are there Tremors comics? I should look. I feel like it would lend itself really well to comics.
Yeah, I think it would too. I would honestly be shocked if not even some third-rate company.
Yeah, I'm looking now. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Tremors comics. No, it does not look like there are any Tremors comics. Wait, is that real?
Huh?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't look like there are any Tremors comics.
That's too bad.
I see something that may just be a mock-up of a fake comic from Dark Horse called Graboids versus Shriekers.
Okay.
But that may be a comic within the universe of Tremors.
Yeah, from my Wikipedia scouring, there was there is a type of graboid that is called a shrieker. So
okay, I saw also that apparently at some point they're able to fly.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. I gotta go smack a cat. Hold on.
Okay,
vamp.
Yeah, so it looks like this comic, Graboids versus Shriekers, may actually be from Tremors 3. It looks like there's I see a spinner rack, which is cool. I really like spinner racks. Yeah, there's like a series of Dark Horse comics. One called Graboids, one called Shriekers, and then another one called Graboids versus Shriekers. But again, I don't think any of those are real.
I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, what I miss? I'll listen to it later.
Yeah, so I just don't think any of these are real. There's a few different fake comics, but they were not real. I guess that it looks like maybe the makers of the film approached Dark Horse about putting together some fake comics. To exist in universe.
Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
This website is actually kind of cool. It's got like the cover art for it and everything. Looks kind of neat. But yeah, no actual Tremors comics, which is again a surprise.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. With the news that Dark Horse has lost their Aliens and Predator comics, maybe maybe this can be something they can pursue now.
I'm gonna send him an email tomorrow.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thanks. So yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to this movie. It's a monster movie, and the graboids are just killing people.
Yeah. They're underground giant worm things that have tentacle tongues that burrow around, and they're killing off the very small town of Perfection, Nevada. And our heroes are Val and Earl, played by Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward.
Yes.
That's pretty much it. Just
basically
them trying to escape and kill the graboids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a real big fan of Fred Ward, and he was a delight in this movie.
Yeah, he's somebody that I didn't know his name, but I definitely recognize him from a lot of things. So I feel like seeing him was just sort of comforting.
Sure.
Like, I knew Kevin Bacon's name. I recognized some other names, but having another recognizable face in the lead role was sort of a nice end to this otherwise very dumb, weird movie.
And they are very likable characters too.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, Fred Ward, he was in one of my all-time favorite movies, Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Okay.
Which I saw in the theater with my mom when I was like 6, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it's on some of those free streaming apps if you feel like sitting through it with commercials, but it's well worth your time.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's based on a series of like those men's adventure novels.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like The Executioner or whatever. This one is called The Destroyer. Remo Williams is the lead of those books, which I've read the first one, and I've listened to a couple of the audiobooks of some of the later ones. The first one is very deadly serious. Then some of the later ones kind of capture the tone of the movie, which is a little more camp and humorous.
Gotcha.
But they're fun.
Nice.
And Fred Ward was pretty great in that movie. But I think he is even better in this movie.
Yeah, he does a pretty great job in this.
Yeah. I will say that another thought I had while watching this movie is I feel like this movie, or movies like it, is partially responsible for where we are in America right now.
Explain how.
Just, like the Michael Gross character is definitely a guy who would probably not be wearing a mask and be demanding his freedoms.
You're absolutely right.
And I also feel like maybe all of the other characters in this movie, except maybe the seismologist, would pretty much just be Trump supporters.
I definitely had that thought while I was watching it as well. Because they all just, they sort of live out in the middle of nowhere. They all seem a little dumb, just to be completely honest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no real smart person in the movie.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Right.
Just the love of guns and blowing shit up, yeah.
Yeah, I actually found myself a little upset how much I was enjoying Michael Gross or Reuben McIntyre's characters and like how effective they were as sort of becoming the heroes of the movie. Like they're just these gun nuts that you're supposed to root for. But I feel like at the same time the movie sort of acknowledges that. Like that was a thing that made me, it didn't make me laugh, but it made me appreciate it. That there's one part where after they kill their first graboid, I think Earl says to Val something about we shouldn't make fun of their lifestyle anymore.
Right.
that I guess that did make me laugh.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But it's also sort of justifying, that person.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which, as we know, is probably not great.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think what helps, though, is that knowing Michael Gross from Family Ties.
Yeah,
and,
definitely. This is very
is,
different.
Yeah, he is essentially the opposite character. And, I mean, I don't know what he's like as an actual human being, but I prefer to think of him as, Michael P. Keaton's dad.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Or Alex P. Keaton, sorry.
It's
Michael
okay.
J. Fox.
I forgive you.
Yeah, thank you. I also spent half my time wondering, there was a show that I had seen him on that felt fairly recent, where he played a character who had been having sex with a character's mother. And it was driving me crazy, and I had to look it up, and it was AP Bio.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I knew he'd been on Law and Order Special Victims Unit at one point, but I didn't think it was that.
No, yeah, he have you seen AP Bio?
I haven't. I know I should.
It's well worth your time. It is hilarious.
Excellent. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. Glenn Howerton's character's mother dies basically before the first episode, and he is living in her house. And then, like several episodes in, Michael Gross shows up for a booty call.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite episodes.
Nice.
Actually. Yeah. Yeah, Tremors is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
It is brainless and just, I think for the most part, the kind of movie that is a good salve for these trying times.
Yeah, I would definitely call it an escape.
Yeah. It was just an hour and a half of brainless fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so highly recommended. Good luck finding it somewhere.
You can find it. Good luck finding it for free. But yeah, I would highly recommend this as well if you're just looking for, an hour and a half of dumb monster movie. Which everybody is at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. And had they all not been pulled off of Netflix, I absolutely probably would have watched all the other sequels to it.
Are all of them off of Netflix now?
Yep, the only one that's on there is the most recent one,
Wow.
Full Day in Hell.
Wow. That's disappointing, Netflix.
Yep.
We should start a letter writing campaign. Bring back Tremors.
I will. I'll start tonight.
Excellent.
All right.
Send me the address. I'll work on it as well.
Okay.
I'll go buy some postcards. We can send them postcards and bottles of Gatorade.
Okay.
Because I feel like the Gatorade was somewhat prominently placed in the convenience store.
Oh, yeah, I did see some of that. There was Mountain Dew and Pepsi, too. So
That's true. Maybe Mountain Dew would be better.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a Mountain Dew type of movie. This is the Mountain Dew of movies.
That, I think, is on the poster. I remember seeing that now.
Well, much like Mountain Dew, I can also recommend to not watch this movie on an empty stomach.
Okay.
I've in some of my more unhealthy moments in life, Mountain Dew has a ton of caffeine in it, and I'm
Right.
Hopelessly addicted, and every attempt to wean myself off of it has failed horribly. But at one point in time, I was just fucking pounding Mountain Dew like an asshole. And it is not great first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah,
When
that
you,
sounds terrible.
Have not eaten, and you're just pounding down a can of Mountain Dew.
Eric,
It is painful.
don't do that.
I don't anymore, for sure.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
I honestly can't remember the last time I had a Mountain Dew, so...
Yeah, it's been at least a decade for me.
Yeah.
Probably longer.
It probably has not been for me, but, I've done my best. Oh, boy.
Do you have a recommendation for the week?
You know what? I'm gonna recommend The Silver Surfer.
Okay. Just the character in general?
Yeah.
Norrin Rad.
Norrin Rad. No, I recently got in the Silver Surfer Omnibus, which has long been out of print, but the Marvel recently re-released it. It's got the first 18 issues of the Silver Age Silver Surfer series.
Nice.
I have been looking for that for a very long time, and it was a joy to look at, with some nice John Buscema art, especially the issues where he seems to actually give a damn about what he's drawing. And the final issue is done by Jack Kirby, who, was obviously always great.
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, and the writing, is a little bit much at times, but
Since Stan Lee.
Yeah. And his interpretation of the Silver Surfer is as a ponderous, moody, Christ-like figure. And boy, does that come out in the prose. But I'd still recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only Silver Surfer comics. I actually had a subscription to the Silver Surfer when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why. Like, I never was really into the Fantastic Four or anything, but for some reason, I got Silver Surfer comics for at least a year in the mail.
So my experience with the Silver Surfer is similar in that I could not explain to you why I like the Silver Surfer, just outside of he kind of looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for a while in the 90s, I was picking up Silver Surfer every month for a year, and I'm not entirely sure why.
That's weird.
Yeah.
There's something in the water. Everyone will like the Silver Surfer.
I mean, for you, was it the Ron Lim years?
It was, yeah. It was, I want to say, late 40s through late 50s were the issues that I had.
So pre-Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I think some of the issues may have been a crossover with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
So yeah, that's prime time.
That is pretty much the exact same run that I was into.
That's crazy.
That is super crazy.
Did you have the issue 50 with the foil Silver Surfer on the cover?
I did not.
Aww.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think I had stopped just before then. And,
okay.
I think I had ordered it through my comic shop, and then they just never put it in my file, and then it was a $60 book.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
If I find one in a dollar box, I will send it to you.
No, you're fine.
Okay. But yeah, I was going to say the only Silver Surfer that I have read and have any memory of is the Dan Slott, Mike Allred series.
Also a good series.
Which is, yeah, I love that series.
Yeah. I've enjoyed Silver Surfer in various incarnations. So. It was just nice to have the first volume finally.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. What about you? What you got?
What I got is old comics as well, not as old as the ones you're talking about. So I this past week I joined the DC review team for the Beat. And the first thing that I reviewed, there were no new DC comics this week, so I reviewed the first 6 issues of the Denny O'Neil, Dennis Cowan, Rick Magyar, the Question series from the late 80s.
Okay.
And that is fantastic.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, so I've continued reading it since finishing just those 6 issues, which typically if I'm reviewing something, it's like I read it and then I stop and move on to something else. But this I have just not been able to move on from.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
it's a good sign. And there's only like 38 issues, something like that.
Yeah, it's around that. So yeah, that's super good. That's what I've been enjoying this week.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the print collections are unfortunately out of print. But
only the first one.
Only the first one? I thought I saw maybe the second one was out of print now too.
It might be. I know that I have seen 2 through 6 or 5 or whatever at various Ollie's bargain outlets and half price books and whatnot. You recall my experience with trying to track down Volume 1 of the Question series?
I do.
It was a painful road to travel.
Yeah, but you got one.
I did eventually, and cheap too, and was shocked.
Yeah.
It was, sadly, the best day of my life.
I'm glad to remind you of a good memory.
Thank you.
For everyone else, they're available digitally.
Yes, yeah.
Or
back issues, yeah.
Or in back issues, absolutely. Yeah. If you're able to go to a store safely and look through back issue boxes.
Oh, yeah. Just fucking stay home, people.
Yeah.
I know that it's August 11th right now, but stay home. And if you have to go out, wear a fucking mask.
Yeah.
It's my birthday today, and I'm not going out to celebrate because I'm not a monster.
Enough said.
Enough said. What movie are we going to watch next week?
Have you seen a movie called Enemy?
No.
It stars Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's I know it's another entry in our Jake Gyllenhaal series.
We'll eventually hit every movie he's ever done.
I hope so. But so it stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who has done a lot of other awesome things.
Sure, I've seen at least one.
Yeah, and Enemy is on Netflix
for now.
I saw it. July 11th is going to be the last day it's on Netflix. So if we're going to watch it, we need to do it soon.
Okay, then. Well, I'm glad you're keeping on top of when the movies we watch expire.
Well, after Tremors, I actually went and looked that one up.
It's a good call. All right. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I know.
I would not have anticipated that being an issue. In my mind, once something is on Netflix, it's there forever.
Same. And why would you take away Tremors of all movies?
Right? And leave only the most recent one.
Right? So weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah. All right, so Enemy.
Enemy, yes.
All right, I'll watch that, sure.
Good. You have to for the podcast.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that next week then.
I hope so. We'll see you then.
All right. See you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at view.guttertrash.net or at iTunes and leave us a review. Visit view.guttertrash.net for email information and links to Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you next time on The Viewmasters.